Welcome, and thank you for taking the time to view this virtual public information center that will provide an update on the New Jersey Turnpike Authority Newark Bay-Hudson County Extension Improvements Program, a critical and future-forward modernization and safety program. I'm Lisa Navarro, a supervising engineer at the New Jersey Turnpike Authority and the program manager for this urgently needed program. During this update, we will share the latest information about the overall program, but we will focus primarily on the first and highest priority project of the program, which is the reconstruction between Interchange 14 in Newark and Interchange 14A in Bayonne and Jersey City. This project includes the replacement of the Vincent Robert Casciano Bridge, known as the Newark Bay Bridge, with twin cable stay bridges. Due to the condition of the nearly 70-year-old Newark Bay Bridge, as well as the other bridges and ramps that make up this part of the extension, this project must and will be first. You will hear from Lawrence Pizzeski of WSP Incorporated, a member of our team of consultants and a nationally recognized environmental expert. Larry has served on the advisory board of the Allen M. Voorhees Transportation Center at the Edward J. Blaustein School of Planning and Public Policy at Rutgers University for over a decade. He will share the findings of the draft EIS and environmental next steps. After the updates, we will answer questions. These are questions that were submitted by the public during the New Jersey Turnpike Authority Board of Commissioners meetings. We have received numerous questions, and we appreciate the strong interest from the public on this modernization and safety program. That's why, as the program manager, it's important to me that you hear from me directly and not answer your questions in a format that is accessible to everyone. We will be holding in-person open houses, which we refer to as public information centers, but we recognize that not everyone is able to attend in person, though we do hope that those who can participate do. I will share more information later about the upcoming in-person public information centers. Now for the update. First and most important, the New Jersey Turnpike Authority's #1 responsibility is to ensure New Jersey families and workers get to where they need to be safely. Constructed in 1956, the Newark Bay-Hudson County Extension is 8.1 miles of critical transportation infrastructure from Interchange 14 in Newark to Jersey Avenue in Jersey City. It consists of 29 bridges. It is vital to local and state economy. The extension provides needed access to local communities, the ports and marine terminals, and Newark Liberty International Airport, as well as services, recreation, and entertainment in Bayonne, Jersey City, and Newark. It is also a State of New Jersey Office of Emergency Management evacuation route. As was widely reported in the media at that time, the extension was constructed because local elected leaders in Hudson County wanted to ensure that their residents had direct access to the New Jersey Turnpike. For years, they fought hard for the extension so that Hudson County residents were not cut off from the New Jersey Turnpike or the economic opportunity that it offered. Today, nearly 70 years later, Hudson County and New Jersey families and workers still rely on the extension to get them where they need to be. Their jobs at the ports, their children's activities, visits with family, and so much more. But the reality is that the extension is at the end of its life, and it's our responsibility to address it before something goes wrong. Because of the age of the 29 bridges that comprise the extension, they cannot handle the current weight of the trucks headed to the ports. Additionally, the bridges and roadway are over capacity. In order to maintain the extension and keep it safe for the New Jersey families and workers that rely on it, there is a constant maintenance and repair work underway, which leads to major congestion and traffic backing up onto local streets. In fact, during the past 5 years, there has not been a single month without a lane or shoulder closure because of the necessary maintenance and repairs needed. Additionally, in 2017, we closed the Newark Bay Bridge for 36 hours for emergency repairs due to a significant structural issue. This is not sustainable and is harmful to the communities around the extension. Bayonne, Jersey City, and Newark are thriving and growing. This program will provide safe, reliable, and resilient infrastructure that is needed to support the success of these cities. The ports are also experiencing record growth. There is more warehouse development providing living wage jobs to historically marginalized communities. This growth, coupled with the pandemic, has led to sharp increases in delivery service vehicles like Amazon, ride sharing such as Uber and Lyft, truck traffic from the port, and more. This modernization and safety program will provide the infrastructure needed to support this growth. This modernization and safety program is a major investment in our economy and communities. It will not just ensure safety and support growth, but it will also benefit the surrounding communities. There will be improved pedestrian safety in the neighborhoods directly adjacent to the extension. The program will include modern stormwater treatment systems and detention basins to better manage the stormwater that runs off the extension into the combined sewer systems. These treatment and detention systems will help to reduce local flooding and reduce the pollutants found in the stormwater runoff. The first project, interchanges 14 to 14A, will alone create 25,000 jobs, according to the findings of the Executive Order 215 Environmental Impact Statement, or EIS. We will work closely with Hudson County, Essex County, Bayonne, Jersey City, and Newark, as well as with small business organizations to ensure local business owners and contractors are aware of and have access to the opportunities generated by this program. There's been a lot of misinformation surrounding this program, and I'd like to take the opportunity to address it directly along with other concerns that I've heard. First, the existing bridges cannot be rehabilitated. We wish they could, but we're dealing with significant structural and substructural issues. The entire extension has to be replaced. We've seen the tragedies that have occurred when we don't replace our aging infrastructure. We simply cannot and will not take this risk. I also want to emphasize that traffic heading into the Holland Tunnel is not the cause of projected increases in traffic along the extension corridor. Independent third-party origin and destination data shows that nearly 80% of eastbound extension traffic is bound to Jersey City, Bayonne, and other parts of Hudson County. Specifically, 56% is headed into Jersey City, 17% to Bayonne, and 6% to other parts of Hudson County. Additionally, there will be no residential displacements. No city, county, state, or federal tax dollars are being used to fund this program. Lastly, this program is not taking money away from public transit. Although the New Jersey Turnpike Authority is not a public transit agency, we recognize the importance of public transit. This is why we are investing, on average, $500 million a year, a historic level of funding, to the state for public transit purposes. We're also contributing an amount not to exceed $124 million annually over the next 10 years to the state to support the Gateway program, which will increase railway capacity into Manhattan. As I mentioned earlier, the first project, the reconstruction of interchanges 14 to 14A, is our highest priority project due to the condition of the nearly 70-year-old structures. The entire extension is 8.1 miles, and interchanges 14 to 14A is 4.1 miles, including the Newark Bay Bridge. In addition to the Newark Bay Bridge, there are 15 other bridges, as well as multiple ramps between interchanges 14 and 14A. This project will replace all 16 bridges. To maintain safety, there will be ongoing maintenance and repair projects. Next step for this project include final design, followed by multiple construction contracts that will take about 10 years. Construction will begin in 2026. The goal is the first new bridge in 2031. Anticipated completion for the first project is 2036. To minimize impacts on traffic and the surrounding communities, we have planned a phased strategy for bridge construction that will not increase traffic congestion. In the video, you see the Newark Bay Bridge that requires constant repairs, causing major delays. This bridge will remain in use while we build a new westbound Newark Bay Bridge to the north. Once the new westbound Newark Bay Bridge is completed, we will move all traffic to that bridge and demolish the existing bridge. Then we will construct a second eastbound Newark Bay Bridge in its place. Once the second bridge is completed, we will move eastbound traffic over to the newly constructed eastbound bridge and use the westbound bridge for westbound traffic. This will take longer and add more cost, but it will minimize impacts on the community and the environment, which is something we are prioritizing. To summarize, the entire program is comprised of independent projects, and it will take 17 years to complete. The total program cost is $10.7 billion investment when you account for inflation and escalation. There is a small business enterprise, referred to as SBE, goal of 25%. We are committed to ensuring that the economic opportunity generated by this program benefits local residents and small businesses. Now I'm excited to share with you the rendering of the new twin cable-stay bridges that will replace the existing Newark Bay Bridge. Residents of Bayonne and Jersey City and Newark deserve a safe, modern, and attractive gateway to their communities, something they can be proud of, and that symbolizes the ongoing growth and success. Now I'd like to introduce Larry Pazesky, a nationally recognized environmental expert, to provide an update on the findings of the draft EO 215 EIS and the environmental process. Larry is a senior vice president at WSP and has directed numerous EISs for major projects in our region, including the post 9/11 recovery World Trade Center redevelopment EIS. He was the principal investigator of best practice guidance on environmental justice implications of road tolling for the National Academy of Sciences. His work as an environmental consultant has been recognized by numerous national organizations. It is my pleasure to introduce Larry Pazesky.
Thank you, Lisa. I'm excited to share the findings of the draft EIS for the first project, the reconstruction between Interchange 14 in Newark and Interchange 14A in Bayonne and Jersey City. Before I outline the findings, I want to provide some context. First, preparation of the EIS was a multi-year, interdisciplinary, and coordinated effort aimed at avoiding or minimizing impacts on community and environmental health. Environmental justice was a key focus of this effort. What do I mean by interdisciplinary? The team of licensed and certified subject matter experts that produced the studies documented in the EIS included environmental scientists, environmental engineers, traffic engineers, civil and structural engineers, economists, historians, and archaeologists. By coordinated, I mean that the process of preparing the EIS also included multiple meetings with municipalities and counties and with state and federal environmental agencies, including the United States Environmental Protection Agency and the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection. The findings of the draft EIS reflect this significant effort. Now for the findings. The extension between Interchange 14 and 14A already experiences significant traffic congestion. Traffic flow is considered unstable, meaning drivers travel well below the speed limit and the volume of vehicles on the roadway is greater than the roadway can handle. Additionally, traffic is stop and go at times. It may flow at some times, and at other times it may stop completely. Changing lanes and entering the highway are difficult because there are no gaps between vehicles and backups are common. The traffic congestion will only worsen in the future as local population, employment, and associated travel demand grows. The draft EIS found that the project will relieve this traffic congestion and provide stable traffic flow conditions, meaning during peak hours, drivers will generally travel at or just below the speed limit. During off-peak hours, drivers will generally travel at the speed limit. Traffic flow will be stable at or near free flow conditions. However, it should be noted that traffic incidents will likely still cause backups, depending on how quickly they are cleared. That is why the inclusion of standard shoulders on the extension is so important, which is another benefit of this project and the program overall. Shoulders allow for the passage of emergency vehicles and drivers who are in a crash to move from travel lanes to the shoulder. Meanwhile, based on a variety of measures, community and environmental quality will be maintained or improved with the reconstruction between interchanges 14 and 14A. By staying on a similar alignment within the same long-established railroad and highway corridor connecting Essex and Hudson counties, this project will avoid taking any homes, parkland, community facilities, or places of worship, and the project will not alter community character or cohesion. Based on U.S. Census data and state criteria, the areas traversed by the project are defined as overburdened communities. The EIS analysis showed that the project will have no disproportionately high or adverse impacts on overburdened communities during and after its construction. Rather, the project will benefit local communities by improving access to and from the communities and by creating thousands of jobs. The project will also support port development in line with Port Authority plans and thereby support job creation in the ports, which are economic engines locally and regionally. The bottom line and good news is that the EIS finds that the project is in the public interest and will have no significant impacts on the environment, but rather, as I stated earlier, maintain or improve community and environmental quality. Now I will turn things over to Tara Dowdell of the Tara Dowdell Group, the Communications and Outreach Consultants for the Newark Bay-Hudson County Extension Improvements Program. Tara will moderate the Q&A.
Hello, everyone. Before we begin, I'd like to introduce one of the other experts who will be answering questions. Mike Morgan is a Senior Vice President at Gannett Fleming. He led the preliminary design for the Newark Bay-Hudson County Extension Improvements Program. He also led the New Jersey Turnpike Authority's preliminary engineering and final design of the Interchange 14A Improvements Project. Mike is an award-winning leader in engineering and planning for major infrastructure projects. Notably, he was named Civil Engineer of the Year by the American Society of Civil Engineers North Jersey branch. Thank you for joining us, Mike.
Happy to be here.
Lisa, the first question is for you. Many community members, particularly from Jersey City, have expressed concerns about the program's capacity enhancements, which you've heard many times are referred to by the public as the widening. Essentially, they want to know why the New Jersey Turnpike Authority just can't replace the extension without widening it. So can you address that?
Great, thank you, Tara. Thanks for the question. I certainly heard this concern and welcome the opportunity to address it. First, we are not adding any lanes between Columbus Drive and Jersey Ave in Jersey City. We are only adding standard shoulders to allow for the passage of emergency vehicles and maintenance activities. The addition of standard shoulders also minimizes vehicle crashes. With respect to the locations where we are adding lanes, we're adding 2 lanes in each direction between interchange 14 and 14A, and 1 lane in each direction between interchange 14A and 14C. We're adding these lanes to accommodate the current and future growth of the ports in the city of Bayonne, Jersey City, and Newark, which, as I mentioned, are experiencing tremendous housing and employment growth. A significant part of port growth is CMA CGM in Bayonne, formerly Global Container Terminal. A large contributor to traffic on the extension are the trucks exiting at interchange 14A to access this port facility. This first project, the reconstruction between interchanges 14 and 14A, will ease this congestion by adding new lanes.
Well, thank you, Lisa. Thank you for that important clarification. So I know you've addressed this concern in your presentation. Specifically, many people think that the money being spent on this program, that at least a portion of it would be better served for public transit purposes.
We agree public transit is absolutely important. As I stated, although the New Jersey Turnpike Authority is not a public transit agency, we're investing on average $500 million a year for public transit. We're also contributing up to $124 million annually over the next 10 years to the state to support the Gateway program, which will increase rail capacity into Manhattan. I do just want to note, as the Turnpike Authority, it's our charge to maintain the infrastructure, and that's what we're doing here with this program.
Right. That's really important for people to understand. You're not a public transit agency, so thank you. Mike, the next question is for you. Many believe that adding more lanes will lead to increased traffic demand, meaning that more lanes will attract more traffic. That's a view that's out there. That's a perception that's out there. Can you help us better understand how this program will improve traffic flow?
Sure, Tara. Let me begin by offering some context. First, as Lisa pointed out, the extension is over capacity. During peak hours, there are more vehicles on it that it can handle. Traffic flow on the extension is unstable, meaning it's congested, often bumper to bumper, and under stop and go conditions. With the implementation of the first project, interchange 14 to 14A, reconstruction, the EIS found that traffic flow will become stable, meaning free flow of traffic with minimal disruptions. This analysis is based on data from the North Jersey Transportation Planning Authority. Their model helped us determine future traffic volumes and travel patterns based on information such as estimated population and employment growth, land use developments like new housing and retail, and planned highway and transit projects. We recognize that this growth is coming, and we're planning to accommodate the increased traffic demand from the economic successes of Bayonne, Jersey City, and Newark. as well as the expansion plans of the port operators like CMA, CGM. Our study and the planning accounted for this increased traffic demand and also the reality that the improvements will attract motorists to the extension who would have taken other travel routes. But even with more vehicles, traffic will still flow more freely during peak hours, thereby relieving congestion on the extension and the local street network. We've witnessed this firsthand with the New Jersey Turnpike Authority's improvements program between interchanges 6 and 9. This program significantly relieved traffic congestion on the New Jersey Turnpike.
Thank you for that important clarification, Mike. Larry, this question is for you. The program area borders many neighborhoods of color and communities that are considered overburdened. Many members of the public are concerned about environmental justice. They're concerned about the impact that the program will have on public health and the environment. Can you address these concerns?
Certainly, Tara. Environmental justice has been a key part of the planning of the project, as well as the ongoing design process for this program. This program is being conducted in full compliance with federal, state, and local environmental requirements. The program will ensure that the extension meets current environmental standards. During preparation of the EIS, modeling was done to analyze the impact that the first project would have on the levels of pollutants on local neighborhoods. The good news is that the analysis concluded that the levels will be below the threshold set out by the Environmental Protection Agency. I also want to highlight that the air quality analysis did not account for the future increased use of electric vehicles, which government analyses indicate will virtually eliminate car and truck tailpipe emissions by 2050. This is really great news for air quality.
Okay, thank you for that. Thank you for that important clarification. Mike, back to you again. Has the New Jersey Turnpike Authority looked into creating a bus-only lane as part of the program?
Not at this time, Tara, because the buses only account for about 2% of peak hour traffic volume on the extension. However, if demand for bus access increases in the future, the new lanes added under this program would make it possible to consider converting a general purpose lane to an exclusive bus lane. In the extension's current configuration of 2 lanes in each direction, a lane dedicated to the use of buses just would not be feasible.
Thank you for that. Lisa, let's close the Q&A with you, and this is a big question that we get, and you know it, you've heard it. The New Jersey Turnpike Authority has received numerous inquiries about when public meetings will be held. We will, can you share when they will be held?
I would love to. Thank you, Tara. We will begin holding in-person public information centers the first quarter of this year in late February and March. Our goal is to hold one in Bayonne, Newark, and Jersey City. At the public information centers, which will be like open houses, members of the public will have the opportunity for one-on-one discussions to speak directly with our program team and get answers to their specific questions from our team.
All right. Thank you so much. So thank you, Lisa, Larry, and Mike, for your transparency and, of course, for your time today. To those watching this virtual public information center, thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your feedback. We hope that your most pressing concerns were addressed, and we invite you to attend the upcoming public information centers that Lisa referenced. If you have additional questions, please submit them via the website. We're going to put that up on the screen for you, and sign up for the newsletter so that you are kept up to date on the program. And thank you again for tuning in.